I must confess, along with being on the Cricbuzz app, I've also sneaked myself a full-page calculator, because that is what's going to come into play very shortly, be it here or be it in Manchester, because it's already about the numbers. It's already possibly been about Duckworth-Lewis and Stern with the way the match stands. Let's quickly remind you where we are at this stage of the game, with New Zealand having won the toss, batted first, 211 for 5 in 46.1 overs. Now, there's plenty of you who have been asking, so therefore what happens? Yes, number one, of course, there is a reserve day tomorrow, but the reserve day only will come into play as and when the match referee feels that they've given every effort to trying to finish the match today. And I can tell you, the match can resume even as late as midnight Indian time to get a 20-over game, in which case India will be chasing 148. We've got a few more numbers to throw at you. For now, let's just try and put that in perspective with Zahir Khan, Robin Uthappa. Maybe, just looking at that initial number, New Zealand will feel they have some sort of a foot in the door based on what they've scored so far.
Well, yeah, I think once we saw the first 10 overs, you understood that this wicket on this pitch, 260, 270 was going to be a really, really good score. And the fact that today now they've got, even if they don't bat out 50 overs, if they go by Duckworth-Lewis and Stern, India would have to end up chasing
237 technically if they played 46 overs.
In 46 overs. Yeah. So that would be quite challenging, to be very honest. Look at that. I think 40 overs 223, 35 overs 209, 30 overs 192, 25 172, 20 148. It'll be a match on our hands if it comes down to any of this, which most likely seems like it will, because you have to understand that before play stopped, it was raining for a little bit, almost maybe 25 minutes, half an hour, where play was continued in spite of little bit of a drizzle. That would have gotten onto the pitch right now, settled in, and there's no sunshine, so it's been covered as well. As much as there's ventilation, there's going to be maybe a little amount of sweating on that strip, and it's going to be slightly sticky, I think, to bat on, if not too paced, and that cannot be good news for India.
But it's already a pitch that not too many people have been able to read properly, because New Zealand seemed to have decided early on that it was going to be safety first, right or wrong. But what was your reading of that surface from this far away?
I think bat first was basically a call because of the magnitude of the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's a massive game, high pressure game. So you want to put runs on board, and then let the scoreboard pressure also play. And the wickets have been slowing down in England, which we've seen. So looking at that, it was a safe call. But I think on the hindsight, it was good for India that they've lost the toss and were bowling first.
Yeah.
They could take the advantage of the freshness of the wicket today, which we saw. There was a lot of help for seam bowlers, and it stayed through and through the 50 overs. Even the slower one, which Hardik was bowling, was providing enough grip, and then the run rate also of 10 overs, slots of 10 overs. You can see that they could never really get going until the last 5 overs. Maybe where they're looking to up the ante and get those runs. Still, if say Bumrah's 2 overs and Bhuvneshwar's 1 over or so to go in to finish the 50 overs, the runs they would have made was say 20-27. So if the game actually stays the same, it's advantage New Zealand at this stage, isn't it? The only good thing for India is that they'll know exactly what the target they are chasing, and also the fact that the bowlers have it tough when it's an on and off game. So that might be the situation for the New Zealand bowlers, because they might come back, there might be a little bit of play, then again they might have to go back or something. That the weather will decide that. But if the match goes to tomorrow, then I think it will be a easy scenario for the Indian team to approach the innings, because they would like to play the full 50 overs. I think full 50 overs, whatever the target may be now from here on in, even if New Zealand has to come and bat those 3 overs and then set a target for India. India will always like that, because you've seen with wickets in hand, Duckworth-Lewis target actually goes a bit higher, and that that may turn out to be advantageous looking at the conditions, because Duckworth-Lewis and Stern don't take into consideration what kind of surface it is. They don't take into consideration who are the bowlers who will be bowling those overs, but it's just purely a calculative method of giving both teams a fair chance of having a crack at the match.